Welcome in, everybody. We are here live at the Cardinals Baseball Complex, campus of Scott County High School for Scott County versus Sayre. Scott County leads the series so far 1-0, 42nd District matchup. Scott County comes into this game 12-3. Sayre comes into this game 15-3. Sayre is 2-1 so far in district play. They have 2 wins over Henry Clay. Scott County 1-0 with their first win in the district last night. Both teams from Region 11, 42nd District. The head coach of Sayre is Kevin Clary. The lineups will start with Sayre. Batting first is number 8, Jackson Herrera. Batting second, number 1, Charlie Slayball. Batting third is 00, Robbie Jenkins. Batting fourth is number 5, Gary Gibson. Batting sixth is number 99, Brody Beal. Batting 7th is number 11, Pierre Kaufman. He was batting 6th. Batting 7th is number 4, Lakeland Heinrich. Batting 8th is Camden Stout, number 44. And batting 9th is number 2, Lucas Satman. The infield for Scott County, Garrett Sparks at first, Will Rose at second, Sebastian Arden at shortstop, Parker Dodson at third base, Tyler Wands in left field, Justin Stevenson in center field, Keegan Hurt in right field. Duncan Stevens is behind the plate tonight, and Preston Luckett, number 24, is on the mound. We'll finish up the introductions here, have the national anthem. We'll be right back in time for first pitch. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk.
Number 11, Preston Luckett.
We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex for first pitch, Scott County versus Sayre. Jackson Herrera, number 8, shortstop, batting first. First pitch is ball 1.
Number 8, Jackson Herrera.
The ball is hit down the third baseline, fielded by Dotson, throws across to Garrett Sparks. He picks it, and it's caught for out number 1. One out away in the top of the first. Brings up number 1, Charlie Slayball, the center fielder. Here is the first pitch to Slayball. It is popped up. All the infielders charging in. Dotson from third base calls for it, and he drops it. He lays out for it, and it is down. Preston Luckett, the pitcher, was under it, and Dotson called him off, so puts the first runner on base of the game for the Spartans.
The catcher, 00, Robbie Jenkins.
And up to bat is number 00, Robbie Jenkins. He's the catcher tonight. Slay ball with a decent lead at first. First pitch is called strike 1. The ball is hit to Dotson at third. A line drive. It's caught. He throws it across to Sparks, but it bounces, and Sparks unable to make the catch. The Cards get 1 out of it.
Now batting for the Spartans, the designated hitter, number 5, Gary Gibson.
2 outs away in the top of the first. And up to bat is number 5, Gary Gibson, the designated hitter. Luckett now comes set. Here's the pitch. Inside for ball 1. I didn't do it yet. I didn't know what to put. Yeah. The 1-0 is ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs. That ball is high. The throw to first base from Stevens to Sparks is close, but not in time. That's ball 3. Slayball got a big lead at first. Here's the 3-0, and it'll be called strike 1. Little up, but it's called. 3 balls, 1 strike is the count. Luckett comes set. Slayball's going to take second. Swing and a miss. Throw from Stevens is to the right of the bag. And they're going to call interference on Gary Gibson. So Slayball will be out. And that'll end the inning. In the top of the first, Sayre scores 0 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base. The score is 0-0. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex, Scott County versus Sayre. Going into the bottom of the first inning, Scott County up to bat. Batting first is number 8, Justin Stevenson. Batting second, number 1, Sebastian Arden. Batting third, number 2, Will Rose. Batting fourth, number 28, Duncan Stevens. Batting fifth is 14, Seth Jean. Batting sixth is number 4, Garrett Sparks. Batting seventh is number 25, Parker Dotson. Batting eighth, number 7, Keegan Hurt. And batting ninth is number 22, Tyler Wands. First pitch is ball 1. Here's the 1-0. The ball is popped up into center field. Slay ball tracks back, and he will settle under it and catch that for out number 1 at the bottom of the first. Pierre Kaufman is the pitcher.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the shortstop, number 1, Sebastian
Up to bat
Arden.
for Scott County is Sebastian Arden. He had 2 hits last night, 4 at-bats. First pitch is foul, a hit down the third base line. It'll be fair. No play from Beal at third. Arden rounds first, and he will have a stand-up double. The first pitch of his at-bat. Runner on second, 1 out. Up to bat is number 2, Will Rose, the second baseman.
Will Rose.
Will had 1 hit last night. 2 runs scored of the 8 Scott County scored. First pitch of his at-bat today is called strike 1. Kaufman comes set. Looks at Arden's lead at second base. Here's the pitch. And a breaking ball. It'll be called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And Arden gets a big lead. Kaufman picks him off. They'll throw it to Beal at third base. Beal runs him back to second. And a tag from number 2, Lucas Satman, the second baseman, gets Arden out, 4 out. Number 2 at the bottom of the first. No balls and 2 strikes is the count to Rose. The 0-2 pitch, and it is fouled off. Straight back, gets away from Jenkins, the catcher. No balls, 2 strikes. Still the count. Here's the 0-2 from Kaufman. The ball is hit into left center field, and it will be down for a base hit. Slay ball, the center fielder playing off to the right. So that ball got down for a hit. And that brings up number 28, Duncan Stevens for Scott County. He is the catcher tonight. Duncan had 1 hit last night, 2 RBIs. Here is the first pitch. His third at bat today. And it is called strike 1. Duncan steps out, gets a sign from Scott County head coach Scott Willard on the third base line. He's in his 19th season as the head coach of Scott County. 0-1 up and in for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here is the pitch from Kaufman. It's called strike 2. Rose goes for second, and the throw is there, but second baseman Satman drops the ball. So that puts runner in scoring position. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count with 2 outs down. Here's the 1-2 from Kaufman, and Stevens stays alive with the foul tip. Here's the 1-2 again, and it's inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. The ball is hit into left center field, and it'll be down for a base hit. Rose rounds third, and he'll be home in time. No play at the plate. And Duncan will be on second base. Scott County puts their first run of the game on and brings in the courtesy for the catcher, number 9, Colt Fields.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the designated hitter, number 14, Seth G.
First pitch to Seth Jean is hit right in between second base and first. It'll go out to right field. Heinrich, the throw from Heinrich is not in time at the plate, and Colt Fields will score from second. So Scott County puts another run on the board for their second of this inning. That brings up number 4, Garrett Sparks. He's playing first base today. Garrett had 2 hits last night, 3 RBIs. Seth Jean, the runner on first. First pitch is ball 1. Here is the 1-0. It's high for ball 2. That ball is hit to Satman at second. He'll slide and throw from the ground. The throw not in time. Seth Jean advances to second. Garrett Sparks will be on first.
Number 25, Parker Dotson.
That brings up number 25, Parker Dotson, playing third base. First pitch called strike 1. Seth Jean on second base running. Sparks on first. Second pitch is called strike 2, right on that outside corner. Kaufman gets his sign from Jenkins. Now he comes set. He'll check. Seth Jean at second. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. That'll end the bottom of the first. But now before Scott County puts up 2 runs on 5 hits. No errors from Sayre. And 2 runners are left on base to score. Scott County 2, Sayre 0. We'll be right back with the top of the second inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We're back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex, campus of Scott County High School for the top of the second inning. Scott County puts 2 runs on the board in the bottom of the first. Up to bat for Sayre is number 99, Brody Beal, playing third base today. Preston Luckett on the mound for Scott County. Here is the first pitch of the top of the second. That ball is hit into deep right field. Hurt charging back, and it will be a home run from Brody Beal to put the first run on the board. That is the first run from the last 2 games. Brody Beal makes his way to to home. Teammates greet him at home, and that brings up number 11, Pierre Kaufman. He's pitching tonight. First pitch is fouled out of play down the right field line. Second pitch, called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here is the 0-2 from Luckett, and it'll be just outside for ball 1. And it is low for ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Ball's hit down the right field line. It will be fair. It'll be down into the corner. Kaufman rounds second, and he will stop on, rounds first, excuse me, and he will stop on second for a stand-up double. That brings up number 4, Lachlan Heinrich. He's playing right field today. Sayre's going to bring in number 3, Jack O'Daniel, to run for Kaufman. Kaufman, the pitcher. Luckett gets his sign from Duncan Stevens behind the plate. Here is the first pitch to Heinrich. Breaking ball. Called strike 1. Here's the 0-1. He shows the bunt. He pops it up, and it'll be foul. Dotson, the third baseman. Stevens, the catcher, unable to make the play. Heinrich is down 0-2. Here is the 0-2 pitch from Luckett, and it is popped up. Stevens, the catcher, will call for it, and he'll make the catch in foul territory for out number 1 of the top of the second inning. That brings up number 44, Camden Stout. He's playing left field today. Scott kind of going to bring in the corners to the edge of the grass. And first pitch is a swing and a miss, strike 1. O'Daniel, the runner on second base. Here's the 0-1, and it is fouled straight back, out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Luckett comes set. Here's the pitch. And it's fouled straight back into the net. Stout stays alive with 2 strikes. The 0-2 is fouled off and caught by Duncan Stevens for strikeout number 1 for Luckett. Two outs away in the top of the second inning. Brings up number 2, Lucas Satman, playing second base today. Here is the first pitch to Satman. And that ball is fouled back into the net. No balls, 1 strike to count. O'Daniel still on second base. Second pitch is outside. It's fouled. Out of play. No balls and 2 strikes is the count. Luckett comes set. Here's the 0-2. And it's outside and a little low for ball 1. Sayre with 2 hits so far this inning. They put 1 run on the board. The 1-2 is fouled down the first base line, out of play. Satman stays alive with 2 strikes against him. Luckett comes set. Here's the 1-2. It is hit to Arden at shortstop. He'll let it bounce. He'll field it, throw across the Sparks. Is in time for out number 3. In the top of the second, Sayre scores 1 run on 2 hits. No errors from Scott County, and 1 runner is left on base. The score, Scott County 2, Sayre 1. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinals Baseball Complex, campus of Scott County High School for Scott County versus Sayre. The score, Scott County 2, Sayre 1. Up to bat for Scott County is number 7, Keegan Hurt, the right fielder. First pitch is hit to Beal at third base. He fields it, and there is no play at first base. That would be a base hit for Keegan Hurt. That brings up number 22, Tyler Wands, playing in left field today. Wands a left-handed batter. First pitch, low, ball one. Kaufman comes set. Here is the pickoff to first base. Not in time. Hurt, dives back. That ball is hit right back down into the ground, and it'll be hit in foul territory by the catcher, Jenkins. So the count now, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Wands takes a practice swing now. He'll get the sign from Coach Willard, step into the box. He awaits the 1-1 from Kaufman. Here it is. He shows the bunt, and it's tipped off, caught by Jenkins. Jenkins pops up, throws it down to Howard at first. The throw not in time. Close play. Kaufman, the pitcher, wanted that out. Yes. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, and it'll be ball 2. Inside. Two, 1, and it is called strike 2, or strike 3, excuse me. So that'll be out number 1 in the bottom of the second.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the center fielder, number 8.
Scott County back to the top of the lineup with number 8, Justin Stevenson, the center fielder. He flew out to center field in his last at-bat. Now he's in the box for second at-bat of the game. Kaufman throws to Howard at first. Hurt dives back in time. Here's the first pitch to Stevenson. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Kaufman gets his sign. Comes set. Pick off to first. Throw in the dirt. Howard catches it. But Hurt is able to get back to the bag in time. No balls, 1 strike. Still the count. Here's the 0-1. And it'll be called strike 2. Here's the 0-2 from Kaufman. The ball's hit into left center field. Stout charging in. He'll dive, and it gets under his glove. So Keegan Hurt will move up to second. Stevenson will be on first.
Now batting for the Cardinals.
That brings up number 1, Sebastian Arden, playing shortstop. He hit a hard ground ball down the left field line in his first at-bat. Here is the first pitch of a second. In the dirt, gets away from Jenkins. And no throw from Jenkins. Cardinal runners move off a base. Keegan Hurt on third. Justin Stevenson on second. That was ball 1. Here is the 1-0. Ball is hit to Herrera at shortstop. Throw across to Howard is in time for out number 2. But not before Scott County puts another run on the board from Keegan Hurt.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the second baseman, number 2, Will Rose.
Brings up number 2, Will Rose, second baseman. He hit a line drive to left center field that got down for a base hit in his last at-bat. First pitch of his second at-bat, called strike 1. Justin Stevenson still the runner on second base for Scott County. Kaufman steps off and tries to keep Stevenson close to the bag at second base. Jenkins will call time, and he's going to jog out. Talk to Pierre Kaufman. Two hits so far this inning from Scott County. They've scored 1 run. Jenkins makes his way back behind the plate. Will Rose in the box for the 0-1 pitch. Stevenson's going to go for third. Rose hits that one to Satman at second base, but it'll get past him. Stevenson rounds third. He'll come in to score. Another base hit from Scott County. Stevenson scored. That brings up number 28, Duncan Stevens for Scott County. Duncan doubled on the line drive to left center field in his last at-bat. Sayre's going to move their outfielders to the left a little bit. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Slay ball in center field, playing to the left. Second base. 0-1. That ball is popped up foul. Out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Pick off to from Kaufman to Howard. First base. Not in time. (0-2), and it'll be called strike 3. That's out number 3 of the bottom of the second. Scott County puts up 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors from the Spartans, and 1 Scott County base runner is left on base. The score after 2 complete innings, Scott County 4, Sayre 1. We'll be right back with the top of the 3rd inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex, Scott County High School, for Scott County versus Sayre, headed into the top of the third inning. Scott County leads 4-1. Up to bat for the Spartans is number 8, Jackson Herrera. He's playing shortstop tonight. Grounded out to Parker Dotson at third base in his first at-bat of the game. Here is the first pitch of his second at-bat, and it's ball 1. The 1-0 ball is hit into right center field. Stevenson charging over, and it will be down for a base hit. One hops the wall. Herrera rounds first, and he will have a stand-up double. Stevenson gets that ball into Arden, the shortstop.
Now batting for the Spartans, the center fielder, number 1, Slayball.
And that brings up number 1, Charlie Slayball. He is a center fielder. He had a pop fly in the infield that got down for a base hit in his first at-bat. Luckett will step off, keep Herrera close to the bag on second. First pitch to Slayball is popped up down the left field line. It will be foul. Tyler Wands gets close to it. Can't make the catch. Slayball, left-handed batter, steps back into the box. Here's the 0-1. Ball's hit down the first base line. It'll be foul. No balls, 2 strikes is the count. Luckett gets his sign from Stevens. Now he'll come set. Here's the pitch. In the dirt for ball 1. Gets away from Stevens. Herrera will move up to third base. One ball, 2 strikes is now the count. Slayball the batter. Here's the 1-2 from Luckett. In the dirt again, blocked up by Stevens. Good stop there to keep a run off the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch. And it's outside for ball 3. Charlie Slayball works back from an 0-2 count. Now it's 3-2. He'll step into the box. So Luckett steps onto the rubber. Here's the pitch. And it's called strike 3. Luckett strikes out Slayball looking for his second strikeout of the night. Out number 1 at the top of the third inning. That brings up number 00, Robbie Jenkins, the catcher. He lined out to Parker Dotson at third base in his first at-bat. Here's the first pitch of his second. It's called strike 1. Herrera still the runner on third base. Ball's hit to Arden at shortstop. He'll come through, field it, throw across to Sparks at first. Is in time for out number 2. Sayre brings in their second run of the game from third base. Herrera scores.
Now batting for the Spartans, the designated hitter, number 5, Gibson.
The score now, Sayre 2, Scott County 4. And up to bat is number 5, Gary Gibson, the designated hitter. He got out in his last at-bat on an interference. Slayball was trying to take second base. First pitch of his second at-bat is called strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Luckett. Or step off before he throws it. Here is the 0-1. And that ball is popped up out of play. So Luckett gets ahead early on Gibson. No balls, 2 strikes. Here is the 0-2. And it'll hit Gibson's bat. It was going to hit him, but he didn't get his bat down, so it hit him, or hit his bats for a foul ball. So no balls and 2 strikes. Still the count. Here is the 0-2 from Luckett. Ball's hit into left center field. It will be down for a base hit. Gibson rounds first. The throw from Wands in left field, not in time. Gary Gibson will have a double. Runner on second base. Brings up number 99, Brody Beal, the third baseman. He hit a home run to right field in his first at-bat of this game. Now he'll step back into the box for his second at-bat of the game. Luckett gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Ball is hit into right field. It's deep. And it is caught by Keegan Hurt out in right field for out number 3 of the top of the third inning. Keegan Hurt catches that ball deep right center field against the wall. So in the top of the third inning, Sayre puts up 1 run. On 2 hits, no errors from Scott County, and 1 runner is left on base. The score, Scott County 4, Sayre 2. We'll be right back with the bottom of the third inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex. Scott County versus Sayre going into the bottom of the third inning. Scott County leads 4-2. Up to bat for Scott County is the designated hitter, number 14, Seth Jean. First pitch, outside, called strike one. Seth singled on a line drive to right field in his first at bat. Second pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. So Seth behind 0-2. Scott County with 8 hits so far this game. Here's the 0-2. And swing and a miss, strike three. That is out number one of the bottom of the third.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the first baseman,
That brings up number 4, Garrett Sparks. He's playing first base tonight. He singled on a ground ball to Satman at second base in his first at-bat back in the first inning. First pitch of his second at-bat, hit right up the middle. Herrera comes through, and he bobbles on the transfer. Sparks will be on first after an error.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the third baseman, number 25.
That brings up number 25, Parker Dotson, a third baseman. He struck out swinging in his last at bat. First pitch is fouled off. Here is Coffin will pick off to Howard. Sparks able to dive back in time. No balls, one strike. Here's the pitch. It's hit down the first base line. It'll be foul. So Dotson behind 0-2. 1 out away here in the bottom of the third inning. Sparks still the runner on first base for Scott County. Here's the 0-2 from Kaufman. And it'll be called strike three. As the fourth strikeout of the night from Kaufman.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the right fielder, number 7, Keegan Hurt.
2 outs away in the bottom of the third. Number 7, Keegan Hurt, comes up to bat. He's playing right field today. Singled on that ground ball to Brody Beal. Third base, excuse me. First pitch of a second at bat. Low and away, ball one. The 1-0 pitch is hit just past the Scott County dugout, foul territory. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch. It is hit to Beal at third base. He'll field it backhanded. Throw across to Howard at first base is in time for out number 3. In the bottom of the third, Scott County scores 0 runs on no hits. 1 error from the Spartans and 1 Scott County base runner is left on. The score after 3 complete innings, Scott County 4, Sayre 2. We'll be right back with the top of the 4th inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We're back here at the Cardinals Baseball Complex, Scott County versus Sayre. Head into the top of the fourth inning. Scott County leads 4-2. Up to bat for the Spartans is number 11, Pierre Kaufman. He doubled line drive to left field in his first at bat. Here is the first pitch, second at bat. Low in the dirt for ball one. Inside, and it's called strike one. One, and that ball is fouled off into the net. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. It's ball 2. And it is called strike 3. 4 out, number 1. That brings up number 4, right fielder, Lachlan Heinrich. He flew out to Duncan Stevens, the catcher, in foul territory. First pitch of a second at bat. Line drive to center field. Stevenson charging back. It'll one hop the wall. Heinrich rounds first. The throw from Stevenson to second base. Close, but not in time. One out away, and runner on second base brings up number 44, Camden Stout, playing left field. He struck out swinging in his last at bat. First pitch of a second at bat, lined into left center field. One hop stopped by Keegan Hurt. Heinrich rounds third, and he'll come in to score. Puts the third run of the game on the board for Sayre. Camden Stout on first. So now Scott County pitching coach Jay Pryor going to come out to the mound, have a talk with Preston Luckett, Duncan Stevens. Right back when this mound visit concludes. We are back after that mound visit. Sayre scored 1 run. That hit from Stout brings up number 2, Lucas Satman, second baseman. That ball in the dirt for ball 1. Satman grounded out to Arden at shortstop in his first at bat of the game. One-0 is hit into right field. It'll be down, and Hurt will stop it. Stout moves up to second base, and Sat will be on first.
Now batting for the Spartans, the shortstop, number 8, Herrera.
1 out away in the top of the fourth. Runners on first and second brings up Jackson Herrera, the shortstop. He doubled on the line drive to right center field in his last at bat. Scott County sends somebody down to the bullpen to warm up. First pitch to Herrera is ball 1. One 0, and it's outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes is the count. Here's a 2-0. It's low and inside for ball 3. Luckett's going to take a walk around the mound, try to catch his breath. Herrera steps back into the box now. Awaits the 3-0 pitch from Luckett. Colt Fields is down in the Scott County bullpen warming up. 3-0 pitch, and it's called strike 1. I assume that Herrera had the take sign on there from Coach Kevin Clary. Here's the 3-1, and it's inside low. That's ball 4. And now the bases are loaded for Sayre.
Now batting for the Spartans, the center fielder, number 1, Slayball.
So out will come Scott County's head coach, Scott Willard. He's going to come out and looks like take Preston out of the game. Preston hands over the ball to Coach Willard. Colt Fields comes in out of the bullpen. But Coach Willard will hand the ball to Colt Fields went out to the outfield. We'll take a break while the new pitcher, Sebastian Arden, warms up. We'll be right back with the updated field. We'll be right back. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex, Scott County versus Sayre. Pitching change, and Scott County changes most of their fielding around. Sebastian Arden, the senior, number 1, comes in the pitch. Tyler Wands comes in from left field. He'll be at third base. Will Rose moves over to shortstop. Parker Dotson moves across to second base. Colt Fields goes in to left field. And then Stevenson will stay in center field. Keegan Hurt will stay in right. Behind the plate is Duncan Stevens still. First pitch is in the dirt, blocked up by Stevens. 1 ball, no strikes. Sebastian Arden, the right-handed pitcher. Here's the 1-0. And it's hit down the first base line, just foul, maybe a foot or so. 1-1 is now the count. Here's the 1-1 from Arden. In the dirt, blocked up by Stevens. (2-1), and it gets past Stevens. No play at the plate. Camden Stout on third base came charging in hard, but he quickly went back to third. Sebastian Arden came in quickly from the mound. The count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Base air loaded. Camden Stout on third. Lucas Satman on second. Jackson Herrera on first. And Charlie Slayball is up to bat. Here's the 3-1. And it's low in the dirt. A walk will tie up the game. The score now tied up at 4. That brings up number 00, Robbie Jenkins, the catcher. Grounded out to Sebastian Arden at shortstop with an RBI in this last at bat. First pitch of his third at bat is outside. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes is the count. Here's the pitch. Blocked up by Stevens. He can't find it. Satman is going to come in from third base. So Sayre will, for the first time, take the lead. 5-4. They move Jackson Herrera up to third base. Charlie Slayball up to second. Robbie Jenkins, the batter, he's ahead 2-0. Still 1 out away here in the top of the 4th. Here's the pitch from Arden. And it's low and away. Stevens dives to stop that ball. 3 balls and no strikes is the count. Here's the 3-0, and it's outside. Gets away from Stevens. Stevens will make no play on that ball, or no play at the plate. Herrera dives in. That puts the 6th run on the game, on the board for the Spartans. The score now, Sayre 6, Scott County 4. Slayball moved up to third, and Robbie Jenkins will take first. Up to bat is number 5, Gary Gibson. He's the designated hitter. They brought out number 3, Jack O'Daniel, to run, but then they took him back to the dugout. Gary Gibson up to bat for the Spartans. He doubled on a line drive to left center field in his last at bat. He's in the box now for his 3rd at bat of the game. Breaking ball in the dirt for ball one. So Stevens will call time. He's going to jog out and talk with Sebastian Arden. Try to calm him down. One ball and no strikes. Stevens makes his way back behind home plate now. Gibson steps back into the box. He awaits the 1-0. Arden picks off the first base. Not in time. Jenkins able to dive back in time. One-0 in the dirt for ball two. Two balls and no strikes is the count. The pitch bounces again. Robbie Jenkins will move up to second base. Second and third now for the Spartans. Gibson is way ahead here. 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. Gibson steps out of the box, takes the practice swing. He's back in. Arden comes set. Here's the 3-1. And it'll be called strike two. 3-0 was the count. Arden battles back here. The count is now 3-2. Gibson in the box. Arden comes set. Here's the pitch. And it's way outside. Gets away from Stevens. Slayball is going to come in from third to score. That's a walk from Gibson. For Gibson. Robbie Jenkins moves up ahead to third. Sayre puts their 7th run of the game on the board. First and third with 1 out down in the top of the 4th. Coach Willard goes out to the mound. He's going to make another pitching change. We'll be right back with this when this new pitcher warms up. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex, Scott County High School, Scott County versus Sayre. Sayre's put up 5 runs so far this inning. They've got runners on first and third with 1 out away. Scott County brings in new pitcher Tyler Wands. Changes around the infield. They've got Garrett Sparks at first. Will Rose goes back to second. Sebastian Arden goes back to shortstop. Parker Dotson back to third. First pitch is ball 1 high. Gary Gibson, the runner from first, moves up to second. Scott County brings their infielders in to the edge of the grass. Here's the 1-0, and it is up for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch, and it'll be called strike 1. Right on that outside corner of the plate. Here's a 2-1 from Wants, and it's up for ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and it's way out for ball 4. That'll load the bases again. 5 walks in a row from Scott County. Sayre has Robbie Jenkins on third base. Gary Gibson on second. Brody Beal on first. And up to bat is number 11, Pierre Kaufman. First pitch is called strike 1. Pierre struck out. He was the first batter of this inning. Struck out looking for out number 1. Still got 1 out down here in top of the 4th. Second pitch. Be a ball. So we'll appeal to the field umpire. He says he did not go. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Here is the pitch from Wants. Right on the outside corner, it'll be called strike 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Wants, and is low and away for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch, and it's called strike 3. Out number 2 of the top of the 4th inning. So 2 strikeouts against Kaufman. That brings up number 4, Lachlan Heinrich. He's the right fielder. He doubled on a line drive to center field in his last at-bat. First pitch of his 3rd at-bat of this game is swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Here is the pitch from Wands. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll get Scott County out of the top of the 3rd, or top of the 4th inning. Finally, back-to-back strikeouts from Wands. In the top of the 4th inning, Sayre scores 5 runs on 3 hits, no errors from Scott County. 3 Spartans are left on the bases. The score now, Sayre 7, Scott County 4. We'll be right back for the bottom of the fourth inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinals Baseball Complex, Scott County versus Sayre. Sayre leads 7-4. Up to bat now for Scott County is number 22, Tyler Wands. Struck out looking in his last at bat. It's called strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball. It'll be ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike is the count. The ball is fouled down the third base line. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a 2-2 pitch. It is hit down the third base line to Beal, and it bounces out of his glove. Wands will be on first. Scott County back to the top of their lineup. Number 8, Justin Stevenson, playing center field. He reached on a pop fly to left center field in his last at bat. Here is the first pitch of his third at bat. It'll be called strike 1. Pick off to first base, not in time. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. It's bunted, popped up. Kaufman dives for it, and he'll catch it. He comes up throwing to first, and Tyler Wands will be out at first for out number 2. So Justin Stevenson shows the bunt. He pops it up. Kaufman, the pitcher, dives for it, and Brody Beal lands right beside him, and then Kaufman comes up firing to first base. They get Tyler Wands caught in between the bases. Up to bat, shortstop number 1, Sebastian Arden. First pitch is ball 1. Sebastian grounded out to shortstop with an RBI in his last at bat. This is his third at bat of the game. Here's the 1-0. It'll be called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Or it's fouled off. Hits Jenkins. It'll be strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And a check swing from Arden didn't go. It's ball 2 in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and it bounces way out in the left-handed batter's box. The count now 3-2. Arden takes a step out of the box, takes a practice swing. Now he's back in the box. Here's a 3-2 from Kaufman, and it'll be ball 4. Arden will take first base. It's just the first walk of the game from Kaufman. Brings up number 2, Will Rose, playing second base. Singled on an RBI ground ball to right field. First pitch of his third at bat. Called strike 1. Oh, 1. The ball is fouled in back into the net. No balls, 2 strikes is the count. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It is hit to Herrera at shortstop. He'll run through it, throws across to Howard at first base, and in time for out number 3. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Scott County scores 0 runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner is left on base. The score, Sayre 7, Scott County 4. We'll be right back. The top of the 5th inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex, Scott County High School for Scott County versus Sayre. Sayre put up 5 runs in the top of the 4th to take a 7-4 lead over Scott County. Brings up to the plate number 44, Camden Stout. He's playing left field today. He singled on a line drive to right field. The infield for Scott County changed around a couple times, but now they're back to how they started. First pitch is called strike 1. You've got Garrett Sparks at first, Will Rose at second, Sebastian Arden at shortstop, Parker Dotson at third base, Colt Fields in right, Justin Stevenson in center field, Keegan Hurt in right field. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Duncan Stevens behind the plate, and Tyler Wands is the pitcher. No balls, 2 strikes to count, and a little high, ball 1. Here is the 1-2 from Wands. And it is fouled out of play. One ball, 2 strikes, still the count. Here's the pitch. And it's hit into right field. Hurt charging in, and it'll be down for a base hit. It is the 9th hit of the game from the Spartans.
Batting for the Spartans, the second baseman, number 2, Satman.
Brings up number 2, Lucas Satman. He singled on a ground ball to right field in his last at bat. He shows the bunt, he pops it up, and it'll be back into the net. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He shows the bunt again. Stevens throws down to Sparks at first base. Camden Stout had a pretty big secondary lead there. Pitch was ball 1. Wands comes set. Go to Sparks at first again for the pickoff. Stout dives back in time. Just a 1-1. And it'll be high for ball 2. Shows the bunt again. He'll pull back. It'll be ball 3 high. Three 1. It's called strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes is the count. Wands goes to Sparks at first. Stout able to get back in time. Three-2 is popped up center field. Stevenson will camp under it, and he'll catch that for out number 1 of the top of the 5th inning.
For the Spartans, the shortstop, number 8.
Sayre back to the top of the lineup with number 8, Jackson Herrera. And they will bring in number 18, Mayan Magan. He is going to run for Camden Stout at first. Herrera up to bat. He walked in his last at-bat. Now he steps into the box for his 4th at-bat of the game. First pitch it. Inside ball 1. Wands goes to Sparks at first, tries to pick him off, not in time. That ball is hit into left field. Colt Fields will camp under it and catch that for out number 2 of the top of the 5th inning. Magan stays at first. And that brings up number 1, Charlie Slayball, the center fielder. He walked in his last at-bat. He steps into the box now for his 4th at-bat of the game. That ball is hit into right field. Hurt tracks back late, and he catches it going back onto the warning track for out number 3 of the top of the 5th inning. In the top of the 5th inning, Sayre scores 0 runs on 1 hit. No errors from Scott County, and 1 runner is left on base. The score, Sayre 4, Sayre 7, Scott County 4. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 5th inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex, Scott County High School for Scott County versus Sayre. Bottom of the 5th inning. Sayre leads 7-4. And up to bat for Scott County is the catcher, number 28, Duncan Stevens. Struck out looking in his last at bat. First pitch, strike one looking. Second pitch, ball one in the dirt. One ball, one strike is the count. Here's the pitch. And that ball is fouled down for strike two. One ball, two strikes. Here's the 1-2. Ball's hit right back up the middle. Herrera, the shortstop, comes through and unable to make the play. That'll be an error. Duncan Stevens will be on first base. Scott County is going to bring in number 12, Evan Allen, to run for Duncan. Colt Fields was running for him, but Colt Fields went into right field. So Evan Allen will be on first. That brings up number 14, Seth Jean, the designated hitter. He struck out swinging in his last at bat. First pitch, ball one low. Kaufman goes to Howard at first, not in time. One ball, no strikes, still the count. Kaufman goes to first again for the pickoff. Allen able to get back in time. Here's a 1-0. The ball is hit down the right field line, and it hits off the light pole. Strike number one. So one ball and one strike is the count. One, and it's high for ball two. 2 balls, 1 strike is the count. Evan Allen still on first. Here's the pitch. A curveball, swing and a miss for strike 2. Here is the 2-2 from Kaufman. Breaking ball will be ball 3, just low. So the count now full. Kaufman gets a sign from Jenkins behind the plate. Now he comes set. Here's the pitch. Seth able to get a bat on that ball. Hits it to Satman at second. And Herrera will cover second base. So Seth grounds into a fielder's choice. Evan Allen running for Duncan Stevens will be out. It's the first out in the bottom of the 5th. That brings up number 4, Garrett Sparks. He reached on an error by the shortstop in his last at bat. He's in the box now for his third at bat. First pitch, called strike 1. Second pitch is ball 1 up. Kaufman goes to Howard at first base again. Tries to get that pick off. Throw is not in time. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch from Kaufman. Way inside. Sparks gets out of the way of it. That'll be ball 2. Two balls, one strike. Here's the pitch. That ball is hit in the 5-6 gap. It'll roll out into left field. Stout picks it up. Seth Jean moves ahead to second base. Garrett Sparks has a base hit. He'll be on first. Scott County is going to bring up a new batter. Number 3, Carson Murray. He's going to bat for 25, Parker Dotson. He struck out in his 2 previous at-bats. Sayre's going to send somebody down to their bullpen. So maybe a pitching change coming in the next few innings. Carson Murray stepped into the box. He's got Seth Jean on second base. Garrett Sparks on first. Here's the pitch. And it'll be called strike 1. Here's the old. Kaufman's going to go to second base. No throw. Just wants to keep Seth Jean close to the bag over there. Here is the 0-1, and it is fouled straight back into the net for strike 2. Carson Murray down 0-2. Carson had a hit in the big win last night. Here's the 0-2. And it is outside and low for ball 1. Here is the 1-2 pitch from Kaufman. And a curveball up and in. Close to hitting Carson, but it didn't. So the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And it's in the dirt for ball 3. So Carson was down 0-2. He battles it back to a 3-2 count. He steps into the box. Waits the pitch from Pierre Kaufman. Kaufman comes set. Here's the pitch. And a check swing from Carson, and it'll be called strike 3 for out number 2 of the bottom of the 5th inning.
Batting for the Cardinals, right fielder number 7, Keegan Hurt.
2 outs away in the bottom of the 5th. Scott kind of brings up to the plate. Number 7, Keegan Hurt, playing right field. He grounded out to third baseman Brody Beal in his last at bat. Here is the first pitch of his third at bat this game. It'll be called strike 1, right on the outside edge of the plate. Ball is fouled off, straight down. So Keegan Hurt now down behind 0-2. Here's the 0-2 from Kaufman. And it'll be called strike 3. Kaufman fired up after that one. He'll let out a big yell. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Scott County scores 0 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners are left on base to score. Sayre 7, Scott County 4. We'll be right back with the top of the 6th inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex, Scott County High School for Scott County versus Sayre. Sayre leads 7-4 going into the top of the 6th inning. Up to bat for Sayre is 0-0 Robbie Jenkins, the catcher. He grounded out to shortstop in his last at bat. Got an RBI. Here is the first pitch of his 3rd at bat of this game. It'll be called strike 1. Oh, 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Tyler Wands on the mound. Still for Scott County. He's ahead 0-2 over Robbie Jenkins. Here's the pitch. And it's ball 1 high. Here's the 1-2, and it'll be ball 2 high. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch from Wands. It just popped up down the right field line. Hurt charging toward it quickly, but it will be down for a foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still the count. Here is the 2-2 from Wands. And it's called strike 3. Out number 1 of the top of the 6th. Brings up number 5, Gary Gibson, the designated hitter. He walked in his last at bat. Steps into the box now for his 4th at bat of the game. First pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Wands picking up his pace now. Second pitch, ball 1 high. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Low and away for ball 2. 2-1. That ball is hit to Arden at shortstop. He's going to come through, and it pops out of his glove right before he makes the throw. So Gary Gibson will be on base. First base runner of this inning for Sayre. That brings up number 99, Brody Beal, the third baseman. He walked in his last at bat. Gibson's going to go for second. The throw from Stevens is in time, and that'll get out. Gary Gibson going for second. That's out number 2 of the top of the 6th inning. Second pitch is called, it's ball 1. Pitch, swing and a miss. Two balls, 1 strike is the count. Here's a pitch from Wands. Outside for ball 3. Here's a 2-2. That ball is ripped down the first base line, and it'll land in the Scott County bullpen. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. No runners on base. Here's the pitch from Wands. Inside, it'll be called strike 3. That's out number 3. The top of the 6th. Wands gets 2 strikeouts. Sayre scores 0 runs, no hits, 1 error, and no runners left on base. The score, Sayre 7, Scott County 4. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinals Baseball Complex, Scott County High School, for Scott County versus Sayre. Sayre leads 7-4. Up to bat for Scott County, number 22, Tyler Wands. Tyler reached on an error by third baseman Brody Beal in his last at bat. First pitch of his third at bat is called strike 1. Oh, 1, called strike 2. Wands in the box now, waits the 0-2. Here's the pitch. It is hit down the first base line to Howard. He'll field it. Underhand flip it to Kaufman covering first for out number 1. Scott County back to the top of the lineup. Number 8, Justin Stevenson. He was out his last at bat. He popped up a bunt. Pierre Kaufman, the pitcher, dove and caught it. First pitch, Stevenson, low and away. Ball 1. This is Justin's 4th at bat of the game. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, called strike one. Here is the 1-1 pitch. Called strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. Here is the 1-2 from Kaufman. And it'll bounce in front of home plate. Ball 2. Here is the 2-2 pitch. And is breaking ball outside for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch. And it is ball 4 up. Stevenson will take first.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the shortstop, number 1, Sebastian Arden.
And brings up number 1, Sebastian Arden. He walked in his last at-bat. He stepped into the box for his 4th at-bat of this game. First at-bat, he hit a ground ball double down the left field line. First pitch, ball 1. Scott County needs to get a couple runs across the board here. We've got this at-bat, one more. Kaufman goes to Howard at first base. Stevenson dives back in time. 1-0. And it'll be called strike one and gets that outside corner of the plate. Stevenson's going to go for second. That's ball 1. The throw from Jenkins gets out into right field. Slay ball center fielder picks it up. And Stevenson will now slide into third base. No. Pitch was ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Stevenson moves over to third. Here's the pitch. That'll be high for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And it'll be in the dirt for ball 4. Second base runner of the inning for Scott County. And out will come the Sayre head coach, Kevin Clary. Looks like he's going to bring in new pitcher from the bullpen. We will be right back at the conclusion of this pitching change. The score is 7-4 with 1 out down in the bottom of the 6th inning. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex, Scott County High School. Sayre brings in a new pitcher, the left fielder, Camden Stout. He's going to come in and replace Kaufman. Kaufman goes to first. Satman is at second base. Herrera at short. Brody Beal at third. Jenkins is behind the plate. 37 goes into left field. Joaquin Acevedo. Pitch is fouled off. Charlie Slayball in center field. Heinrich is in right field. Again, Camden Stout, number 44, is the new pitcher. Up to bat for Scott County is number 2, Will Rose. Sebastian Arden reached on a walk. Justin Stevenson on third. Here is the 0-1 pitch from Stout, and it'll get past Jenkins. Stevenson's going to come in from third base. Stout did not cover home. That'll put the 5th run of the game on the board for Scott County, and that'll move up Arden to second base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's in the dirt. Gets past Jenkins. Arden will stay at second. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. That ball is hit, and it's fouled out of play down the left field line. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out down. In the bottom of the 6th. That ball is hit to Herrera at shortstop. Throw across to Kaufman. Gets past Kaufman. Arden's going to come around from third. He'll score. And Will Rose will be on second. After an error from Herrera on the throw. Scott County puts their 6th run on the board. Score now, Sayre 7, Scott County 6, and that brings up Duncan Stevens, the catcher. He reached on an error from Herrera in his last at bat. Here is the first pitch of his 4th at bat, and it's going to be behind him. Good stop there by Jenkins. Kept Will Rose at second base. Here's the 1-0, and it's inside again. Duncan squats down, get out of the way of that pitch. Kevin Clary is going to come out again for Sayre, and he'll motion down to the bullpen. Looks like they're going to bring in another new pitcher. So we'll be right back at the conclusion of this pitching change. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex at Scott County High School for Scott County versus Sayre. One out down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Sayre brings in new pitcher number 35, Jackson Howard. Up to bat for Scott County is number 28, Duncan Stevens. The count, 2 balls, no strikes. Here is the first pitch from Howard. Low and away. 3-0 is the count. It's called strike 1. Three one. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Jackson Howard comes in with a 2-0 count. He battles back. Now it's 3-2. Here's the pitch. Foul tipped and caught by Jenkins, the catcher. Strikeout number 1 of this inning. Two outs down now in the bottom of the 6th. Brings up number 14, Seth Jean, designated hitter. Grounded into that fielder's choice to Satman at second base. Will Rose running on second for Scott County. First pitch to Seth. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Here is the 0-1, and it's fouled straight back into the net. Howard gets ahead early. 0-2. Howard comes set. They're going to have a timed pickoff play to second base. So Herrera went to cover the bag. Will Rose, not a big lead, got back in time. No balls and 2 strikes is the count. Howard will come set. Here's the pitch. And it is fouled out of play. Seth Jean stays alive with 2 strikes on him. Here's the 0-2. That ball is hit down the right field line and just foul. The bounce out of play. Seth Jean with another foul ball. He'll stay alive with 2 strikes. So here is the 0-2 pitch again from Howard. And it's outside. It'll be called strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts from Howard. Gets him out of the bottom of the 6th. So Scott County will score 2 runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner is left on base. The score: Sayre 7, Scott County 6. We'll be right back with the top of the 7th inning. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex at Scott County High School for Scott County versus Sayre. Going into the top of the 7th inning. Sayre leads 7-6. Up to bat is number 11, Pierre Kaufman. He started this game as pitcher. Moved over to first base. First pitch, line drive to Will Rose. He backpedals and is able to catch that for out number 1. 1 out. Away brings up number 4, Lachlan Heinrich. He is the right fielder. He struck out, swinging in his last at bat. First pitch of his 4th at bat. Inside, called strike 1. Here is the 0-1. And it's outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That ball is popped up right center field. Hurt calls for it. He'll camp under it and catches it for out number 2. So 2 outs away in the top of the 7th. Brings up number 44, Camden Stout. They're going to bring in number 20, Will Johnson, the senior. Pitcher, center fielder. Will Johnson.
How about it for the Spartans, number 20, Will Johnson.
First pitch is fouled off. Second pitch, ball 1 low. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs down, top of the 7th. Here's the pitch from Wands. And way out for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And it's outside for ball 3. Close pitch there. Here is the 3-2. And it is fouled off, out of play. Here is the 3-2 again. And it's hit down the first base line. And it'll be foul. Another foul ball from Will Johnson. Parker Dotson was playing on the edge of the infield grass. I told him to scoot back a little bit. Will Rose at second is playing back. So, the count still full. 3-2. 2 outs down. Here is the pitch from Wands. And it's called strike 3. Wands gets out of the top of the 7th. Line out, fly out, strikeout. In the top of the 2nd. Sayre scores 0 runs on no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base to score. Sayre 7, Scott County 6. Scott County with a chance to win this game here at the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be right back. This is Scott County Baseball on Connor Sports Talk. We're back here at the Cardinal Baseball Complex. Scott County versus Sayre. 7-6 Sayre leads. And up to bat for Scott County is number 4, Garrett Sparks. Hits a ground ball to left field in his first at bat. First pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 is the count. Here's the pitch from Howard. And swing and a miss, strike 3 for out number 1. Howard, quick pitching there. Scott County going to bring in 34, Luke Huffman. First pitch to Luke is ball 1. So Howard tries to quick pitch him, but Huffman will step out of the box for ball 2. Coach Kevin Clare from Sayre was going to come out to talk to the home plate umpire. Howard's going to quick pitch, but Scott County batters aren't set in the box. So he's going to step back into the box now. Awaits the 2-0. Here's the pitch. And it'll be called strike 1. Here is the 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts brings up number 7, Keegan Hurt, the right fielder. He struck out looking in his last at-bat. Yes. First pitch to Hurt. Bounces in the dirt for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. So Keegan Hurt trying to slow him down a little bit. Call time, step out. Second pitch, fouled back over the net. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs down here in the bottom of the 7th. Sayre leads 7-6. Here's the pitch. And it'll be called strike 2. Jenkins, the catcher, tried to call something different, but Howard shook him off through that fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Howard. And way outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Scott County down to their last strike. Last out. Here's the pitch from Howard. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That'll do it here from the Cardinal Baseball Complex. A lot of talking coming from Howard. So Howard came off yelling at the Scott County dugout. Scott County came out of the dugout quickly. So the final score here from Scott County: Sayre 7, Scott County 6. That'll do it. Scott County back in action on Friday night against GRC at GRC. We'll have that game live on Connor Sports Talk. So that'll do it for tonight. Again, the final score: Sayre 7, Scott County 6. Thanks for tuning in tonight, everybody. Good night.